Coming to you from Homebrew Studios, it's Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour with your hosts, Bob Katie
and John Picarillo
and Jay Schmidt.
Welcome to episode 196 of Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
Welcome aboard, folks.
Hello. I'm distracted again.
I know. We're just going to watch the dog walk around and find a place.
Well, that's because we had to bring it down because in the last podcast, the dog was just up there barking forever. I told John, he likes to take his morning nap every morning. Like, you let him out, and then he goes back up in his chair, and he's asleep till like 11 or noon.
He's eating sheetrock.
You know? Hey!
Yeah.
So, like, he's like quiet. So,
shit.
I told these guys, tomorrow when he's taking his about 9:30, 10 a.m.
Poop by John.
I think I'm just going to crawl up next to him and scream like he barks in his face for an hour. See how he likes it.
What are you doing?
Go fuck yourself.
Don't poop here.
He's going to poop.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that look.
Hey, he's working one up right
now. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to eat some sheetrock. I'm going to poop fucking concrete.
I don't think it happens that quickly.
He disappeared.
He's right over here.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
His master.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at him. I'm going to poop.
All right.
The minute they stop looking at me, I'm going to poop.
Probably.
And then I'll be happy. And I'll go
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Thank you. So,
well, he's not stupid. He's not going to poop and stand next to it.
you're not going to the Saratoga beer thing, are you?
No.
No.
Are you?
No. It's my sister-in-law's birthday, so I can't.
We made big plans last year.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Time flies.
You dumb son of a bitch!
You dumb son of a bitch!
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
A lot of beer.
We drank a lot of beer. I would definitely have a pretzel necklace.
Yes.
If I
preferred.
If I did it again.
To absorb the alcohol.
Yeah. And I think I'd wear my kilt.
Didn't you get a bunch of jerky?
Oh, yeah. I love
Imagine
jerky.
if you wore your kilt.
I know. I get all kinds of jerky. Woo! Yeah, woo!
You get a lot of jerky.
What do you got there?
You don't pay attention to me. You keep talking.
You
asshole.
don't pay attention to me.
You asshole.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bad things.
This is why we did the top 10 last episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've learned our lesson.
John's.
That's good. Makes for good stuff.
Makes for good stuff. Oh.
I just remembered.
Oh, you got to
do more research.
Oh.
Jay's word of the day.
Oh, yeah.
You're not ready yet, are you?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Okay. I'll just randomly pick one.
John will be unconscious by the time you kill him with whatever beer you're going to kill him with.
Nah, that's not bad.
Fart liquor. Fart. Yeah, it's fart. Fartin' liquor.
What are you talking about?
Fartlick. Yeah, it was one of his words. He's researching.
Yeah, I didn't want.
Hey! Hey! I was going to the music. That's what it was.
Yeah. All right. Cockbell.
Cockbell.
Cockbell. Cockbell. Dog, do you know what that means, dog? Cockbell?
It is a small handheld bell, or a type of wildflower that also grows in the spring, and an Old English dialect word for icicle.
So would that be right if John ran around in the spring naked holding his cock saying, I'm a cockbell, I'm a cockbell?
Yeah. It's derived from coq, C-O-Q-U-E, the French word for seashell. So it's a small handbell, a type of wildflower that grows in the spring. Old English
Cockbell.
dialect for icicle.
Would you like a cockbell for Valentine's Day?
Look at all the cock bells falling from my roof.
Yes. Look at all the cockbells attached, coming down
Cock
from the roof.
bells everywhere.
You warm the cockles of my heart.
That's one thing we haven't had a lot.
Cockbells.
Cockbell?
Last couple of years. Yes, we haven't had a lot of cockbells.
Well,
We haven't had a lot of icicles.
no.
No. It usually gets really warm enough where they just melt.
Too warm, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we seem to swing. That we have these big swings in temperature,
We do.
like today.
We do.
I had ice sheets.
Well, I'm talking about cockbells.
Well. Oh! You a nasty motherfucker.
You are creepy as shit.
Nasty.
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 You thought the dog was going to shit down here.
I'm nasty. He's gonna. Look, he keeps looking back like
He's gonna.
Are they looking? I'm gonna shit soon.
They're watching me.
I don't get to bark for fucking an hour straight. I'm gonna
He's
shit.
look at him. He's exhausted. His tongue's dragging. He's
Oh,
barked
yeah.
so much. He went to that water bowl like 5 times up there.
Yeah, we see you.
We're watching you.
Pinch a loaf. Squeeze cheese. Heave a Havana.
Oh, shit.
Fought in your general.
I fought in your general direction.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Well, number one, that your father, who smelt of elderberries, was married to a hamster is the first thing that should be talked about there.
Don't
I
look at
still
me
have
like
my
that.
elderberries. I have to do something with them.
Yeah, we have to make
Make
some
You have elderberries?
wine.
I was thinking about well, but you can do an elderberry IPA too.
Oh.
I was thinking about that.
You have elderberries?
Yeah, I have them growing throughout my yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ew. Isn't that English of you?
they're very annoying. Actually, they're gigantic fucking bushes.
Do they smell? Because apparently he says they smell.
I don't know. I didn't really. Well, I was worried. I think I went through this before because if they're raw, they contain cyanide actually naturally. So you have to make sure you boil them or
To get rid of the cyanide.
because a raw, not I shouldn't say raw, but raw ripened elderberry contains cyanide.
Doesn't rice
It will
actually
kill
have,
you.
Rice has a certain amount of. Doesn't that have a certain amount of cyanide in it or something?
I don't know.
Arsenic or something, maybe
I don't
know.
something like that. And apple juice, they said, does too. Has like a certain amount. Of
So,
one
I
of
guess-
one of those two things.
Well, stop drinking that.
Not enough to harm you, numbnuts.
Yeah, well.
But I wanted to. Yeah, I have
It all creeps up on you
I have
eventually.
a couple pounds of elderberries in my freezer.
Do you?
Yeah, I froze them because they said that's the thing to do. We bag them up and freeze them. So.
I got some hops. We put the two together. We can make a hell of a thing.
Try it.
Let's just fucking do
Yeah,
it. We should just
try
do
out,
it.
whatever.
Fucking
I want to
make
get
some-
rid of them. They're annoying me.
Yeah, let's make some elderberry
Soup.
beer. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, yeah.
Worst it could be is cyanide.
Yeah. So
We'll all be dead.
we'll be dead.
You dumb son of a bitch.
You dumb son of a bitch.
I don't think you ever finished your story from last Putting in the water tank.
I didn't know if I should. Later that evening,
we got on a tangent about the beer garden.
Later that evening, we were having a family discussion about weed,
That's,
and because
we all?
that's what families talk about.
Sure.
And I said, Dad, did you notice when the fellas came back? We were finishing up with the hot water heater, and they came back and they had a couple beers in them, and they were all rowdy, crazy. Fucking dude's pissed because he's a tattoo artist, and he works with other tattoo artists that refuse to do certain body parts.
And this is stuff you were hearing from upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's disturbing because they don't like to do certain body parts because it's more challenging, like shins and
Penis.
shins and legs and things like that, So he's like,
shit and legs.
he's like, so what the fuck do, you bloody cunt? And he's not an English guy at all, but he was just on the beer, And then I said, Dad, did you notice there was a funny smell afterwards? And then they were really mellow. You know what I mean? So I think I put it all together. Sort of it's weed's good. It just mellows you out. Don't get stupid.
Well, you never hear you never hear there was a large fight at the pot dispensary today. No, it's always at a bar.
They don't argue about that. They wait in line for it.
Yeah.
I know people that go to Massachusetts now because it's legal.
Yeah.
You got to
Massachusetts.
You have to stand in line to get your weed products. It's not all smoking weed. It's gummy bears and brownies and all that kind of good stuff. You can get anything. You get edible.
Now, I suppose, is it legal?
Oils.
Now,
Steve taught us.
medical marijuana is legal in New York State. If you have a card for medical marijuana in New York State, can you go to any dispensary in Massachusetts and bring it back home? And if you get pulled over, it be legal?
I would think so, but
or is it like some?
Jay might know more about the law than
No,
I do.
I don't know.
Jay's like, I don't.
I was
fucking
hoping
know."
you were going to throw this at me because I don't know.
You were hoping I was going to throw it.
No, I was hoping you weren't.
Oh, weren't?
Weren't. Sorry.
I don't know. It's
I have no
a
idea.
relatively
It's very
good question.
confusing.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
Do you think they should legalize it?
I don't care.
You don't care? Okay. Hey, that's an answer.
I don't really care.
There's yes, no, and I don't care.
It's not like you're going to run out to the dispensary and get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I have my feelings either way, but I don't care really. It doesn't matter. They're going to do it. They're going to do what they're going to do, so it doesn't matter.
You can make beer with it too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't mind them legalizing marijuana, but when you start getting into harder drugs, then I don't know.
They're not going to do that.
I start getting a little bit. Well, they say there's some cities over in Europe that are actually it's legal. Like all drugs are legal, and it's
That's interesting.
yeah, and they're like they have not only do they have dispensaries for them, but they have obviously if it's heroin or something you need needles. They have free needle types and everything and all
safer.
that. And they have the statistics of crimes down and everything else and all that. But I think sometimes people forget that things don't work in this country as well is because this country is so big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
It's such a
It's crazy shit that happens in the South.
It's such a big country.
They have
And-
a whole different mindset.
Yeah,
on stuff.
like literally going from one part of the country to another is like almost going to a whole different world, a whole different country, like you would from Germany to France, and so on and so forth over there. It's like, hop, skip, and a jump for once you get over to Europe to hit all these countries. Well, this country is so big that you're talking about the difficulty of getting everybody on the same page with all these ideas. You know what I mean? But then again, that's one thing. That's one of the big fights is, a lot of. I don't even know if it is. I don't even know who's for it anymore. It used to be the Republicans back in the day were more for the. Let me rephrase that. A traditional Republican as we know them. You know what I mean? I don't want to say what's going on today.
Oh.
The traditional Republican as we once knew it was more for small government, states' rights, that type of thing. Am I correct, Jay? That was more like that was more like the more traditional Republican thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's that I think that's one of the reasons is because this country is so vast that obviously what's good for a state like Maine probably isn't the same, as good as a state like Texas, because there's so much there. It's so different because of the distance you have to cover, literally.
And all my exes live there.
In Texas. That's why Jay lives in Tennessee. What? Hold it. That's how the song goes, but he's living in New York. Mm-hmm. But I think marijuana at this point, they should just legalize. All the states should just friggin' legalize it, be done with it.
Well, I think what we need is the federal government to legalize. That's the problem. It might be legal in states, but it's not legal in the country anywhere.
Federally,
yeah. Yes.
So
I don't know. They have mixed feelings about it.
Of course. Well, that's politics.
Marijuana, I don't, but other drugs, I don't know.
Not politics, but it's just I don't whatever. I don't want.
No, go ahead. Speak. Speak.
It's just been seen as a gateway drug, and that's my problem with it. So,
yeah,
it does lead to other drug use, and that can become really catastrophic. So, but I don't know.
But a lot of things do start with alcohol in the home too, as being as much of a gateway. And I think they should. I don't think beyond marijuana and alcohol. I don't think I'm not sure about legalizing anything beyond that, because then you're. See, it's even hard to say that, because I sit there and I think about it and I'm like, well, then you're really putting harm onto oneself or whatever. But then alcohol does do a lot of damage for people who don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think we even discussed the problems with cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
It's the number one killer.
Yeah.
It's totally
big
legal.
time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, without
Kills-
a doubt.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of people a year.
Without a doubt, you're smoking a carcinogen.
It's guaranteed. It's not a guarantee, but your chances of smoking cigarettes your entire life and not having repercussions from it are pretty slim.
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the same can be said to a certain extent of alcohol.
Well, now alcohol
On a certain level.
was illegal at one time.
It was.
Well, I don't think you should make it illegal. I don't think marijuana should be illegal. I don't think alcohol should be. I think you should.
I don't really care.
I think you should take marijuana and do exactly what we do with alcohol with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you get caught driving under the influence of
treat it
one,
just like alcohol.
As much in trouble as the
But
other.
the problem is the testing for
It's hard
That we discussed that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different.
So
Because marijuana stays in your system a lot
the toughest
longer.
and there's no real litmus test for
right.
it.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with it is if you smoke weed tonight and your company does not want you to be under the influence, and you get injured at the job and you test positive, which you will, because you had it the night before, you're not necessarily under the influence at the time, but you have tested positive for marijuana. That's the problem with marijuana. Alcohol is kind of like on the spot. Like, we got you.
Yeah.
You know, we can test you for that right now. Marijuana is like it's in the system for, I think, almost a month. 30, 28 days.
Well, some of the problem. Well, one of the things that keeps bringing marijuana around is that people do sit there and they say, you know, it's hard to find it's hard to find the problem of when you smoke marijuana, the side effect, the bad things that you know, alcohol. You can have liver problems. You have so on and so forth. Well, cigarettes, we know you want to go in there. That's a whole bunch of shit. And all the other drugs, marijuana, they come back to as, you know.
There's no evidence of harm.
Well, yeah, I mean.
I just think, to me, it's because they're smoking cigarettes is bad, but then they say smoking marijuana is so good for you, but you're still smoking stuff, inhaling things into your lungs, so probably not good.
Well, I'm sure it's not good.
Imagine.
If you can refrain from all of it,
there's some
that's probably the best way.
Effects. Whatever. Whatever.
But then there are different.
I don't care. I don't.
There are different delivery.
At the beginning of this conversation, I don't really care. So it is.
Well, you just see that you see.
It's not going to anger me either way.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you just see different things on both sides, and you're kind of.
As long as they don't make beer illegal, I'm fine.
Yeah. No. So that ship has fucking sailed.
Yes.
That ship has way sailed.
Yeah, it definitely has. That's not being reversed.
Hopefully not.
No, with marijuana screaming the legal way toward legality in this whole country, you certainly ain't going to pull back beer. You know, hell, they haven't even done it for cigarettes.
No.
And cigarettes literally has a skull and crossbones on it that says you're going to basically fucking die.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's really funny, actually. When I went to Brazil. I went to Brazil. That's probably 10, 12 years ago.
Whatever you say, Paco.
And I was still smoking cigarettes at that time. Brazilians thought it was the most disgusting habit ever. Like, I was the only one smoking.
Oh, you're disgusting American.
Yeah. I was like the outcast.
Brazilian? That was more French, wasn't it?
My best Brazilian accent.
Jay's best Brazilian accent is a French one.
But I went to Italy 10 years later, and all those fuckers are smoking cigarettes. And I was a non-smoker. And
Shit.
And they were like, you know, everybody over there was like,
Oh, shit.
Well, isn't still France? They smoke like a chimneys over there.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
At least that was always the.
This is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, you're disgusting American.
It's disgusting American. You disgusting Americans. Look, I make the baby smoke. I don't care. I don't care. Look.
Smoke in your face.
Yeah,
I fart in your general.
I blow smoke in your face. I give your baby a cigarette. I don't care.
It is funny how it's
My
looked
baby
differently.
smokes.
My baby smokes a pack a day. And we call him a pussy.
You got to pick it up a little.
You can pick it up a little.
Smoke more, baby.
By 6 months, I was doing 2 packs a day. I think what's the one that scares me more than that is the chewing tobacco.
They say that's wicked bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, number one, it's disgusting.
Everybody I work with has it. It's fucking gross.
Number two is that
I did it at one point, actually, too. When I was in high school, I was like,
the thought of like losing half of your jaw or something kind of grosses me the fuck out.
I tried it a couple times, but it's really not even worth it.
Yeah,
It's not even worth it.
Never tried it, never going to.
It's gross. Grosses me out.
Yeah.
So
Plus, it's like it's like you can't drink and do that. No. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like such a fucking hassle, doesn't it? It seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh wait, I want to have another sip of my drink.
Or what do? Take it out and then take a
Yeah.
sip. You know?
Yeah.
Or that. Yeah.
Nasty.
Or you just put another.
Nasty.
Remember Zubel?
You nasty.
We always
Yeah,
thought
that
our gym teacher, Mr. Zubel, he always had a fucking coffee cup, like a travel mug type of thing. We always thought that guy drinks a lot of fucking coffee. And then we found out it was a
Spitting.
fucking spit cup. He's hiding it.
I got a fucking story for the listeners.
Yay, a story. We got to get out of this depressing
Yes,
mode here.
exactly.
Very
I got a new story.
heartfelt
Yeah.
edition.
So
Heartfelt edition of Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
So I am
John cries.
I'm a advocate for green living.
Okay.
So
Green screen, green living. We should know that by John's top 10 of things that are green.
So the first mistake I've made was I love Stewart's hazelnut coffee,
Is stupid over there by you?
and he keeps sniffing my leg, and I'm sick of it. I'm going to kick him.
He's got me too.
So
I don't know where he is.
he's right behind you. Now he's on your right. He's on your right.
Is he pooping? Oh, there he is. He's sniffing my leg.
Okay.
I like it.
Go ahead. Green living.
So the first mistake I made was I started buying the Stewart's hazelnut K-Cups because everybody has a K-Cup.
Oh, green living is worse. Or that's the worst.
Well, the problem with the K-Cups
that's the worst.
is it's,
For
it's
the world,
a ton of
probably.
plastic over and over and over. It was just
Yes, they're so
constant.
popular. Yeah.
So I'm done with K-Cups. No more K-Cups. So what I've
K-Cups are
decided is that I'm going to buy my coffee at Stewart's on my way in because they make it from the grinds. And a refill is $1.19 at the old Stewart's on 50. So I want to try the new Stewart's that they built over on 50, which is like 2 blocks away.
It's 121.
No,
Oh.
it's 118. It's a penny fucking cheaper.
Oh, cheaper.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've been going there, which is fine. It's great. So the other night, I forgot my fucking.
Oh, did he fucking.
I forgot my mug.
Did he have a fucking bug up his ass on this
So I
one?
forgot my mug at work. So it was a snow day, so I was running late. I had to run down the apartment, see how
Many cock bells.
all that, and I stopped at the Freeman's Bridge one, right?
Many a cock bells.
So I go in there, and I like my hazelnut. I half fill my cup, which isn't my refill one. I have to buy the cup. You know what I mean? Yeah, which
Oh.
kills me because now I'm.
Why would
adding
you
to-
buy a paper cup?
I had to because
Oh
I
my
didn't have
God.
my refillable with
You
me.
might have just overfilled.
Yes, exactly. So I'm already depressed and disappointed. So I half fill
on,
it,
dude.
and the fucking hazelnut runs out.
Oh,
So now I have to wait for them to brew another one.
and they did it with a K-Cup.
No.
Oh.
So they
Oh,
brew
the worst-
another one.
what he would hate is the cellophane almost
at
aluminum
least it's
foil
not styrofoam.
packets that come in.
At least it's a paper
Thank
cup. It's
the
not
Lord.
styrofoam. You know what I mean? At least that's not where I'm
God,
going.
it was paper.
So anyway, which by the way, these fuckers are so hot with fresh coffee, you can't hold them.
Oh
It's
no,
fucking-
Stewart's
you
coffee's
can't
hot.
fucking,
Yeah,
you can't fucking hold
I remember
'em.
that when I worked at the schools. We used
So-
to get Stewart's all the
yeah.
time. It was so hot. You have to double cup it, but
Yeah.
that's a wicked.
Yeah,
oh,
wicked that. Now you're throwing 2 away. Exactly.
Mr. Green,
You're catching on.
Hold
right,
it.
Right.
Mr. Green living over here. Who do you work for? Oh, a company that kills trees.
No, we
Yay!
recycle a lot of paper.
No, you're still killing trees.
That's what we do is recycle
Yeah.
paper.
Kill tree
I
killer.
don't know.
Tree killer.
So that's why you feel so bad about it.
Yes. So anyway, now I fill my cup, and when I go to cash out, they're like, "I'm sorry for your inconvenience. I'm going to take 50 cents off of your bill because you had to wait for me to make the hazelnut." So they charge me $1.48, and this is because I don't have my refill. Compared to the
Which is usually
$1.18
$1.18.
with my refill. So if you
Did
add
you
the
tell
50
Did
cents.
you tell them that you usually have a refill? Maybe they would have taken.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
If you add the 50 cents, we're talking about $1.98 compared to $1.18 for the refill compared to the fucking cup cost 80 fucking cents. Are you following me? Are you serious? Because the fucking cup didn't cost them 80 cents. No. I'm fucking baffled by the fact that I have to
You
buy
thought about this on the way to work?
It's called.
The minute I had to pay, I thought about it.
It's called capitalism. Get over it.
Well, fuck that. I'm never forgetting my cup ever again.
Well, it touched.
John's becoming a tree hugging socialist.
Dude, I was happy I was saving a penny by going up the road. 80
you got it
cents?
up
You
your
bet
road.
your ass I'm never fucking buying a cup again.
What?
Holy
Highway.
shit, that's an 80-cent cup to filthy up the planet some more? Fuck you guys. I'm bringing my own goddamn cup. And anybody who doesn't bring a refillable cup to the stores can give you go, shut your mouth. That's it.
Why don't you just make your own coffee at home?
Because nobody has a fucking regular coffee maker anymore. There's no coffee maker here.
Why?
There's no coffee maker here.
He's got only
Yeah,
a
but you
K-cup
can buy the
maker.
refill things for the
No, there. If you've ever tried that, it's
tried that.
No,
I've tried it.
It makes a mess of your machine.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
if you use
fucking
it correctly.
Disaster.
Follow the instructions.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't do it because I like polluting. I like my K-cup. It's
Yeah,
very
you
convenient.
and Bob, fucking polluters.
First, take a big step back
I recycle.
and literally fuck your own face.
I recycle, motherfucker.
Bob doesn't.
You dumb son of a bitch!
I enjoy recycling.
Son of a bitch.
He's the anti-recycler.
I recycle. I purposely recycle, and then I watch the city throw it all in the same garbage truck.
Same here.
So it's like I went through all. It's
I thought
went
the
through
same thing.
all that trouble.
But they have a lever
No.
in the truck.
Yeah, it just squishes it all with the regular
No.
garbage.
Garbage, one side, whoosh, and then poop. They flip the lever.
There's
and
a special recycling truck sometimes that comes around, except when he doesn't feel like it or he's late or something. And
Well,
then
it
they
might.
just throw it in the
They
garbage.
might not have the truck available that does the both.
Yeah.
So then
It's
the
a magic truck.
I saw them. I saw them.
Magic
Woo-hoo, magic truck. I saw them around here. This city got a budget rent-a-truck, a big box truck, and we're picking up the bags of grass that you put out at the curb and tossing them all in there.
Yep.
And then at Christmas, right after Christmas, they were going around with a flatbed trailer and putting them on the flatbed trailer.
Well, that's all going to the same place. It's recycling. That's
They do
called
recycle
I
that
didn't say
to,
that.
to the county
Yeah.
county garage.
I mean,
Why are you looking at me like I'm complaining about it?
because you are the worst recyclable person.
I don't cut down a tree for Christmas anymore, so fuck you.
I wasn't talking about trees. I was talking about plastic. You put the plastic that I took out of your garbage back in.
I did
your
that.
garbage.
I did that to
Just to scare me. What? What kind
Hold
of
it.
guy does that?
Hold it.
Only
Time
a
out.
Goes back
plastic
to the
fucking
scare.
hater.
Time out.
That's it.
Time out.
Only this guy.
Time out. I did not do that to scare you. I did that to hear you gripe and grumble.
And then thought it was a perfect opportunity.
Exactly. It dawned on me when you were coming down. I said, I kind of look like I'm hiding. This is the kind of a good opportunity.
I would have probably done the same thing. That sounds pretty funny to me. I wish you'd videotaped it because that would have been America's funniest videos. Might have won
If
$10,000.
Bob wasn't so disturbed.
Why didn't we
editing,
ever send
he
that one with
probably
you and
would have.
Snapper in?
I know we should have.
Why didn't we ever do that?
Still do.
Oh my God.
Still do it.
You can get so much more. You just don't like to edit. You could have edited that right into this show
First,
right here.
take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
What would be hilarious for this show is like he could insert that video in right here. This conversation and the last one for that sake, both of them,
Yeah.
and people would laugh their fucking ass off. But Bob doesn't want to edit. I got you, motherfucker. I got you, motherfucker.
So you just walk down, you say your little stuff for
Yes.
an hour, then you disappear from
Yes.
this whole fucking thing.
yes,
Yeah. Fuck you.
that's what you do.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
You have one job, Bob.
Go fuck yourself. I got like 5 jobs here. Fuck you.
in your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
Shut up! Would you say I have a plethora of piñatas? A what? A plethora. Oh, yes. You have a plethora. Jefe, what is a plethora? Why, guapo? Well, you told me I have a plethora. And I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. I would not like to think that a person would tell someone he has a plethora and find out that that person has no idea what it means to have a plethora.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Go fuck yourself, John. I fucked this all up.
At Loose End Buttery.
I didn't finish. Oh,
well, you want to ad lib?
You can find us at Bob and John's Podcast at gmail.com, on Buzzsprout.com, and iTunes. Bite me.
You haven't finished yet.
I did, right there.
You didn't.
Yeah, when did I finish?
Or
I'm not saying that. I refuse.
do you see how I scribbled that out? Because that's his fucking line.
It's true. I've heard this before.
Not saying it. Not saying
Or
it. You can't make me.
Good thing I have other things to do.
Chillin' with Jay's Brew. Chillin' with Jay's Brew. Chillin' with Jay's Brew.
Well, John screwed that all up, so we'll go right to Jay's Brew.
Hi, honey.
Oh, he went to Wolf Hollow again.
Yeah.
His favorite place.
This is their collaboration for Schenectady Beer Week.
Aha! We did talk about this on the last show. Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Who was the collaboration with?
Collaboration was with Beck Barn Brewing in Duanesburg, new brewery. But their head brewer is a beer historian. So this is Albany Ale. This is Albany Ale. This was a... Hang on, let me get my photos ready here. So this was a beer that was originally produced in Albany, Schenectady area back... they said as early as the 1700s and up till around 1900-ish. So this guy actually found the recipe for this beer. So
it's an old recipe?
Yes. They said as early as the 1700s, and it was only available in this area of the country.
Oh, really?
Because Albany back then was considered actually a mecca of beer production.
What year was this, you said?
1700s. It was actually an old Dutch recipe, and it was formulated and produced in Albany, and actually in Schenectady, where Center Street, that used to be a brewery.
Oh, really?
So that brewery actually produced this beer. So Wolf Hollow collaborated with Back Barn, which is a new brewery, and their brewer is historian of beer. Mm-hmm. He wanted to produce this beer. He found the recipe. they used Wolf Hollow's facility and made this beer there. But it's
is this the first time you've had it?
No, I had it. They released it on the Monday, the beginning of Beer Week, at Center Street. So
Had it there.
Kind of a ode to that, and I've had it a couple times since. Actually, it's how do I want to put it? It's probably the most different style of beer you're ever going to have. It's totally different type of beer. It's different. It's a hoppy.
What?
It's an ale.
It's an ale.
It's an ale. But it's kind of a hoppy ale.
Albany Ale didn't come up on. Did you find it on Untapped yet?
Yeah, it would be on Untapped. Yep.
What's it called?
I checked into it. Albany Ale.
I did that.
Spell Albany right. So, let me see here. I'll get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find it.
You're talking to your friend, aren't you? He has a grin on his face already.
You shut me. You had to shut me down. I had to find other things to do.
I didn't shut you down.
Yeah, you were.
How did I shut you down?
You're all pussy hurt.
I didn't shut you down.
Yeah, you did.
I just didn't feel like saying that word at that moment in time.
Well, then I don't feel like taking your words.
My word? What?
You heard me.
No, I don't. I didn't understand what you just said.
That's what I like. I like you not knowing what I'm talking about.
There it is. You got to go to Wolf Hollow Brewing, and then Albany Ales there. See? I don't know. It doesn't come up when you search Albany Ale. It should. Strange.
So this is an old recipe.
An old recipe.
So what should I do?
What? From what? Oh, it doesn't come up. It's weird.
Like you said, 100 years old?
More than that.
Yeah.
1700s, he said.
It started in the 1700s.
From where?
Albany.
Albany.
Oh.
If you were paying attention.
I was busy.
I know. So it was produced from they say as at least into the early 1900s, and then as early as 1700, it's been recorded as having been.
So are you saying early in the 1900s it just appeared?
Yeah. It was
they just stopped producing it.
Yeah, but it was only available here in this area. So let's see, there it is, Albany. Oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go. I got to try this.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
It's going to be different than anything you've ever had.
It's an ale.
Hoppy ale. Be prepared for like an IPA kind of flavor.
Oh, he loves IPA.
It's very different.
Delicious.
What do you think? I don't know. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally different. I mean, than anything I've ever had. I don't know how to even describe it.
No, it is very hard to describe.
It's not really a brown ale.
I'm trying to come up with the words for it because I want to say brown ale, but it's not that.
No, it's not.
It's not super IP. It's not. Like
It's not,
IPA
but it's hoppy, but it's malty too. I mean, it's not. It's an old recipe. I mean, it's an old beer. I mean, it's crazy. To me, it's different. It's totally different. It's an acquired taste. I mean, some people don't like it. I know that from when we did the walk. Some people are like, oh my god, that's gross. It's the worst thing I ever had. But
Oh no,
I mean, you have to.
I don't
understand
feel
this.
that way about it at all.
But to me, I appreciate the
I feel the
the
history. Of
right.
it.
That's to me, it's wild. And if you actually Google Albany Ale, I mean, it's like it is actually it was a thing. I mean, it was only this area in that time.
Well, in that time period, that I mean, you only did have area beers, right?
But I mean, in the whole country, Albany was a huge producer of beer.
Really?
Right.
In the 1700s?
Yeah. Well, no, the early 1900s.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
And then that the brewing company that was at Center Street was another one that produced this beer. I mean, and they used.
It's also like food.
Right.
It instantly hit my belly. Like
it's
belly.
Filling
I just
beer.
had a snack. You know what I mean?
It's a filling beer. It's definitely filling. But let me see. I googled it quick. I came up with. If I can find it here. There it is. So it was. There's been a few attempts at recreating this, but back for the last couple hundred years. But it was. Where was it? 400-year period history of this beer. Prior to the late 1800s, people forgot about this type of beer. So I don't know. It was like kind of a unique beer for this area, and I don't know. I thought it would be neat to bring it.
That's cool.
Check
I
it
like
out.
that.
I enjoy it. I mean,
like the history of it.
I actually feel like I'm at a pub
right. I mean, that's what it brings me back. It's like old. It's an old style of
it's
beer.
Definitely an old school recipe for sure.
It was pretty cool, and they involved the Back Barn, which is they're new. They were at the tapping event there on Monday, which was kind of cool. It was a Meet the Brewers thing. People from Frog Alley were there and Wolf Hollow, but the Back Barn people were there, and it was nice to talk to them. It was neat to see their.
Are they a smaller brewery
Yeah,
than?
they're real small. It's out in
real small.
Duanesburg, and they're real small. They actually don't even have their liquor license yet, which is why they kind of collaborated with these guys to kind of get things moving. So, but there were some good beers produced.
It's
for
an
that
old school
event.
flavor.
It definitely has
That's
a big amber color to it.
Yeah, amber.
Well, that's like a traditional ale has that amber.
Right.
Smell it, Bob.
It's hoppy. I don't know. I thought it was very easy drinking.
Oh yeah, it's very.
It's like an old school. It's very old school flavor, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
There's
it would
no,
make me happy. Say you had a rough day.
Yeah.
And you
Grab
didn't have
one of
much
those.
to eat, and you had one of these. You would feel like you just had some
very
food.
filling.
Yeah, you just were like.
It has a very ale smell, almost like a
it's
not as
cool.
potent as a Heineken, but kind of like that.
It's
that
like a
type
old
of
English type
thing.
ale.
It's got a
But I
little.
don't
It's
know.
got a little more malt to it than
Right, it's malty too. That's what I mean. It's not just hoppy. I mean, you get the hops, the bite from the hops, but it's malty too. So that's what gives you that filling kind of flavor to
I gotta
it.
take a picture before I
But
drink it
it's-
all.
I don't know. It's just good. I enjoyed the hell out of it all week last week. So
I'm enjoying it right now.
I think it's they were actually surprised at how good it came out because at first they were like kind of I don't know.
It's probably a risk.
So-
with
well,
the
it was. I
palate
mean-
of the modern man,
Yeah.
it's probably a risk. But
Well, and they all kind of said that. They're like, it's different than anything out there. I mean,
You also
there's
got to
really
realize, probably when that was being sold in its time, it was probably warm.
Yeah, might have been.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know when. I don't know exactly when.
Refrigeration started. Yeah.
No, not when refrigeration started, but when the whole. I know that's more of an American thing is to have cold beer.
Yeah, right.
And
well, yeah.
when
That's
that
the-
trend, I guess the word I'm looking for is when that trend came about.
Yeah.
In this country.
The lager thing is what brought that about. But this is an ale, so it's kind of it can get warm and be fine. I mean,
you know, Tombstone, like like the sound that's going around in the background, little piano,
Yeah.
some clinking glasses and stuff. Every time I drink it, that's what I feel. I feel like I'm
brings
there.
you back.
I'm right there.
It does. I mean, it's, I don't know.
Music lover.
I am a music lover.
It harkens back to
Frederick
old days.
fucking Chopin.
Frederick fucking show. Well, that's why, yeah. Beer, just like, hey.
Beer's been around forever.
Well, beer, whiskey, they travel well. Warm. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's been around for a long time.
And this is, I think,
I mean, what
around 6%. It's not a crazy.
Not a crusher.
back in the 17 and 1800s, what else was there that they were drinking other than whiskey, bourbon, beer? I mean, what else was there on the menu? You know, you went into an old school saloon. What else was there?
Spirits. That's it. You were getting some sort of spirit.
Well, you know that, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's funny because you see these old these Western movies, and they have all some of the ones have all these bottles, and I thought about that the other day. I'm like, is that just all sorts of different kinds of whiskeys? I mean, was there were they
today?
Yeah, like what?
You go today to a
Probably,
bar,
I would say like gin. Maybe they had. Yeah.
Where's gin origins? Vodka's more Russia, right? Isn't that more European?
Gin's not my favorite.
I think gin was more of a English thing. So
is it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant vodka was more of a Russian.
Well, you use vodka to make gin. So.
Oh, do they really?
I mean, I think beer goes
know
back
that.
to like Egyptian times.
Oh, they found evidence of beer making.
Beer goes back forever.
Yeah, pretty much to the beginning of man.
Like I think I did.
Beer pretty much rivals wine.
I think I did a little bit of research on it at one time, and if I remember correctly, it was like somebody soaked bread to soften it, and because there was so much yeast in it, and you had to add so much water, and then whatever the case may be, it was left around to ferment at just the right temperature, and you've got beer.
Open fermentation.
Yeah.
So
That's
what?
amazing.
So what was? So every area or country or whatever has a pretty much of what their liquor was. Like obviously this country it's whiskey. You know what I mean?
I think beer was
No, I'm not talking about beer, but I'm just talking about what was England? Was that gin? Was there?
Yeah, probably gin.
Was there local?
Yeah.
In Maine.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
I love
because obviously Russia is vodka. Well, which Germany?
Beer.
Beer?
I don't know. I think Germans were big into vodka.
That's Russians.
And Poles. Poles love vodka.
I didn't know Germans were into vodka. Never heard
I
that
think
quite.
Beer mostly with Germany.
I'm guessing Irish was into
Whiskey.
Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Because one of the big problems they had was the potato famine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So potato was a big part of vodka.
Well, it's grain alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So it's not potato.
No, you can make potato vodka.
Yes.
You have never had that?
I was just talking about it the other night. I tried to make dandelion whiskey.
Wine.
Dandelion wine. And I didn't do it good because it called for a fucking enormous amount of sugar. And I tried to cut the sugar back.
Yeah, you need a lot of sugar for
and it didn't work. Like a 5-pound bag of sugar for like a 5-gallon thing.
Does that limoncello need a lot of sugar too? Seems like it would.
Not like what I'm talking about for the dandelion. Dandelions are so bitter, you need a ton of sugar. And they have no natural sugar. Where the limoncello had...
I'm going to go out of her.
Oh, sorry.
Damn, that's nasty.
Oh, that was the wrong button. Sorry.
Great beer, by the way. What is it?
One last time.
Albany Ale. Collaboration for Schenectady Beer Week, Wolf Hollow and Beck Barn Brewing, a new company coming in Duanesburg. Supposed to be some good things there. I'm excited to see what they got to offer. Supposed to be a beautiful venue too, so they got an overlook and everything. So yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna take a lot to beat Buffalo for you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Chillin' with Jay's Brew. Chillin' with Jay's Brew. Chillin' with Jay's Brew.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's podcast at gmail.com, on buzzsprout.com, and iTunes, and
At Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook Live.
And on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page at Bob and John.
Page?
Page. Or page at Bob and John.
Sounds like you have a dick in your mouth.
I was just
Such
happy
a pain
because
in the ass.
I was just fucked up because he should have to say
Fuck
and.
him.
He should have to
He's
say
trying to be an asshole.
Yeah, but
now.
he says it, so
This
you
is like
should have to
day
say
after day, Bob's
How come
being
you don't
an
have to
asshole.
say
He
and?
starts with the plastic container
he's so
and the garbage.
grumpy when he gets on the show.
And now he's angry about the ore. It's like one thing after another. You fucking pussy.
But how come you
asshole
can't say
motherfucker.
and?
Actually, what's really funny
You should have
is
to say
when
and.
I pick on him at band practice, it's funny. Tom,
Why do I have to say
Tom's
and?
like, you're really picking on Bob. I'm like, I never even feel like I'm picking up Bob.
I didn't feel like you were picking him either.
I'm not even ever picking on him.
I have no idea where
telling him how it is. You
I have no
asshole.
idea where Tom even got it from because I didn't even. I didn't even.
I don't even feel like I'm picking on him.
Yeah,
ever.
like
I'm
we
fuck
missed.
you, asshole.
We
That's
did.
all there is to it.
I have
Fuck
no.
off.
I
That's
have
all there is.
I have no idea what Tom was even talking about because afterwards I'm just like.
Yeah, see, he doesn't even know because I'm not picking on him. I'm just telling him the story, telling him how it is. You're supposed to say "or," and you didn't on purpose. And I know you're fucking with me, so I'm gonna fuck with you. I mean, I'm not even busting his balls. I'm just calling him out on his bullshit.
I want you to say "and" for me.
Fuck him. It's "or," and it's his job, and that's all there is to it. Fucking doesn't change.
Like
He can go fuck himself. And you can take your fucking plastic jug out of the garbage and put it out in the fucking recycling on your own. Because I won't pick up your 2% milk anymore. Asshole.
All right.
I said please.
That's all I have to say about
That doesn't count anymore.
And I
I've had nothing here with you.
And I
You
apologize.
asshole.
Oh boy. Look out.
Had it. He was
See,
like,
this is why they
I
stopped making
apologize.
Albany
Well,
Ale.
fuck you when you apologize. You can take your apology and shove it up your ass.
What
Bob.
happened? What happened to the peppers?
This is why they stopped making Albany Ale.
What happened?
They got too angry.
What happened to the peppers?
It was on my list. I didn't do it though.
Oh, your list! I had it up to here with your list.
If you're gonna eat one of those fucking peppers, I'll get it right now. I'll
And-
fucking Uber to fucking Price Chopper and get it right now.
Uber.
It's a me and Jay thing. You have nothing to do with it. If you want to eat one, I'm telling you right now, we'll go Uber and I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Why not Uber? Bob could just drive you.
Hit pause,
We could
Bob.
do da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it'd be a long da-da-da-da. Be longer than the fucking podcast is, for God's
sit
sake.
here and drink
All right, let's try this one more time. Ready?
Yes.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen
All
up.
together.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's podcast at gmail.com, on buzzsprout.com, and iTunes. Or
At Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook Live.
And on our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Also on Untapped at Jay's Brew and Brewmaster Pick. Or
it's an and or an or? I don't know what it is.
Guys, I don't know. I don't have that note on my.
You know what?
That's a
Unlike
random.
asshole over here, I'll be flexible in whatever you want to throw it at me.
/ or.
All right. Go to 151online.com for all your rock and roll needs.
I think I know what this episode is going to be named.
And or.
/ or.
Check out go grab our debut album. Check out our new single for our new video. Shake It On Down, and check our calendar where we're playing in March, because we are got a couple gigs in March coming up.
That's right.
So we're not doing that.
Jay, what did you learn? No, but you should bring that every time.
And or. That's what I learned. Not to bring Albany out anymore.
Is the dog over there?
He's pooping somewhere.
I'm not being sniffed. So
he lost. I know. He's been up my ass most of the time.
He was last seen heading for Bob's.
He said, "Fuck
control
it."
room.
Really?
Hey, hey!
I think he went upstairs. Actually,
Yeah, I think you might have.
he had enough.
But
of
I'm
it.
not sure.
He's like, "Okay, I hear
He's
him,
either
but,
upstairs
it's
or
not fun
dropping
anymore.
a huge deuce in your control.
Wouldn't surprise
Stay
me.
tuned next week.
Jay, what'd you learn?
We have to take a picture of that, put it up on the green screen.
If you want to edit it, no problem.
Oh, the editing. Oh, good. the editing.
Gigantic deuce.
Yeah.
Sure.
I tried to show him how to edit once, and it blew his brain, so he said, fuck it.
I was like, no, you can do that.
Yeah, fuck you. What'd you learn, Jay? Really? Of all the things?
Such a
I
hard.
don't know. It was very hard. I like doing top tens with Jay's Brew. I don't know. I'm gonna protest.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I thought you were. I thought you were on his side.
No, I'm on the opposite.
More fun.
Yeah, I'm on
It's
the
more
opposite.
fun when you're don't know.
No, I don't yike it that way.
You only got kid. John, what did you learn?
I like doing the top 10 first on the first episode, and then like the second
Here,
one.
have more beer.
I like to just drink beer on this one.
I learned that is a very old recipe of beer that we are drinking from this area.
It is. I really
That was
feel
a horrible pour.
It was.
And
it was
that-
Actually, it's not that bad.
And
Not
that
lucky, yeah.
if you don't say or before John gets to his part, he throws a fit like a little baby.
Yeah, I have a total SOP on everything in life, and if you don't follow it, I don't know if I like it. It like you know what's funny?
You hold it. You bitch
burning your Yeti
Oh, I burnt my Yeti.
burns my ass. Like I'm like, oh, I can't believe he burned the Yeti.
But you know, whatever.
He's like, I don't even give a
Don't
rat's
worry.
ass. Me, I'm like,
It's not
I
leaking.
can't believe he
I'm
burned the
upset, but what am I going to do? I burned it. See?
He put it on the stove and accidentally turned.
You
it
gave
on.
it some character.
No, I hit it with. It's so big, it hit the fucking stove on, and then
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm glad I saw it before it was a total melt through.
And then he had to text his
Oh, you
wife,
would have
"Hey,
been upset."
When you get home, if it smells like
It smells
burnt
like burnt
plastic,
plastic.
don't worry.
It
was me.
Now hold it. You complain that I don't put the or in there, and that throws off your SOP, and you throw a
does.
fit.
Like I have a thing. I have a sheet here.
But you didn't see Jay throw a fit when when the top 10 got moved.
Jay, that's not me.
So if you like your SOP, why don't you like the top 10 after?
That's never been my SOP. You made it. I've always wanted to have the top 10 on the first
Okay.
one.
All right.
and
So
then
I made
the
it,
Jay
right?
Brews in the second one, and you
So,
did it this time. And
wouldn't
I'm happy.
the or
I like the new SOP.
Since I say or, that's my SOP, so I have the right to move it or not.
That's fine. Then I'll fix my note if that's from
We just
here
have to
on,
shut the
and I'll
fucking
put
li-
or.
That's really disturbing me. Sorry.
The Mexican in the corner.
Yeah, behind your. It bothers me.
He's so disturbed
like
by
it-
it.
what?
Ridiculous.
It's like
He's
highlighted.
disturbed by a hat. You're
highlighted.
disturbed by or.
It's like highlighted.
What the hell kind of hotel is this?
It's like a
It's like,
UFO.
oh, it's so disturbing. There's a Mexican behind Bob, and I can't take it.
It's. I don't know. You're gonna build a wall or something.
And what you just said there, you crossed the line, buddy.
All right. Say goodnight, guys.
As we're both drinking.
Yes,
Good
I
night,
know.
guys.
Good night, guys.
Stadler?
Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Back goes Serrano. He'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one.